How did you guys find your voices and really hone in on that?
Failure. I think that's the only way you're gonna find your voice, is you have to put yourself out there, you have to try stuff, you just have to continually fail and still fail. Like I still fail to this day, and that's still an important part of the process because there's so much more to do. So it's just that's how I did it. And I had a big advantage of being a performer at the UCB Theater, which is the philosophy of that stage existing is a place for people to fail, up and experiment and be able to find their voice. And it took me, let's say 8 years until I was like finally wrote a show where I was like, oh, whoa, this is my voice. Like this is my voice. And I finally was like, I did it. It takes and I think I feel lucky that it took 8 years. I think it can take a lot longer depending on when you start. And also like, if you're living a life, if you're sheltered and not living a life, you'll never find your voice.
And I think another thing that I think a lot of women in different fields have too is just imposter syndrome and this feeling that you don't deserve what you have and you're a fraud. And just to speak to reframing, my therapist was like, I was like, how long can you go without mentioning your therapist? Was like, well, okay, so what if you are a fraud? Like, you've tricked so many people. Like, you're a really good fraud. Like, that's...
You're a successful
yeah,
fraud.
exactly. So I was like, yeah, that's kind of true. Like, I'm not hurting anyone. I'm just very good at conning.